Good morning, children. Welcome to online class. Today we are going to discuss the third application of Gauss law, that is electric field due to two parallel charged infinite sheet. Electric field due to two parallel charged infinite sheet. Let us consider the two infinite sheet. One is positive charge and another one is negative charge. So the surface charge density is plus sigma and minus sigma. In this, we are going to calculate the electric field. Okay, we are going to calculate the electric field. So listen children, here we are going to consider 3 points. The first point in between the plate, the second point outside, the third point another outside point. Okay, now you want to calculate the electric field at the point P1, at the point P2 and at the point P3. Now listen children, first I am going to consider point P1. Listen, at this P1, for understanding purpose, listen, I am placing one positive charge. Okay, I am placing one test charge. Here, this is I am taken as what? Positive plate. This is what? Negative plate. So listen children, if I take the positive charge, the electric field. Okay, so listen, I am taken the positive charge. Here listen, if I place one positive charge now. Okay, if I consider the positive charge at the point P, P1, what happened? Due to this positive charge, the electric field is in an outward direction. Correct? That only they indicate E positive vector. Now, due to the negative charge density, this positive charge is acting inward. Okay, so at the point P1, if you see, due to the positive charge, there is an outward direction. Due to the negative charge, it is an inward direction to the plate negative. Okay, so if you see, at the point P1, both the electric field E positive vector and E negative vector are acting in the same direction. E positive vector and E negative vector acting in the same direction. Now come to the point P2. For the point P2, listen, just I am placing one positive test charge. Listen, due to the negative surface charge density, okay, this positive charge is acting in an inward direction. The positive charge is acting in an inward direction. Now, due to the positive charge density plate, it is acting in an outward direction. Okay, so only listen children, at the point P2, E negative due to the negative plate is acting in an inward direction to the plate. At the point P2, E positive vector is acting in an outward direction due to the positive charge density plate. Okay, so at the point P2, if you see, listen, E negative vector and E positive vector are acting in opposite in direction. Now come to the point P3. At the point P3, listen children, and first listen, due to the positive charge. Okay, due to the positive charge, the electric field is acting in an outward direction at the point P. Now, due to the negative charge at the point P3, the electric field is acting inward to the negative plate. Okay, understand? So, at the point P3, if you see, due to the negative charge plate, it is acting in an outward direction. Due to the positive charge plate, it is acting in an outward direction. Due to the negative plate, it is acting in an inward direction to the negative plate. Okay, understand? So now from this lesson, you all know that lesson, when the sigma is greater than 0, it is acting outward. When the sigma is less than 0, it is acting inward. So, at the point P2 and P3, listen, at the point P3 and P2, the electric field due to the plate are equal in magnitude but it acting in what? Opposite in direction. Okay, so listen, both are equal in magnitude and acting in an opposite direction means, listen, the net effect. Listen children, if you calculate the net effect at the point P2, that is both are having the same magnitude, acting in the opposite direction is equal to what? 0. So here is also what? 0. So for this two plate, okay, listen children, if you consider the plate plus sigma and minus sigma outside the plate, okay, the point P3 and P2 are outside the plate, the electric field is equal to what? 0. Okay, very important one mark question. The electric field outside the two parallel charge infinite sheet is what? 0. If you see the center, okay, inside we having the answer because both are acting in the same direction towards the right side. Okay, so we can calculate now the electric field. Okay, now we can calculate the electric field inside the parallel plate charged sheet. So we can write now the magnitude of, okay, before that listen, the magnitude of the electric field due to one infinite charge sheet is sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Okay, listen children. So listen, for the single sheet, we know the formula sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Okay, now you want to calculate for the point P1. You already know that, listen, when sigma is greater than 0, it is per outward direction. Sigma is what? Less than 0, it is what? Inward direction. Okay, now for calculating the value of P1, okay, we having the values of both are acting along the same direction. So E positive vector minus E negative vector. What is the electric field formula we calculated in the last class? For the infinite sheet, sigma by 2 epsilon naught. So due to the positive charge, sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Due to the negative charge, again listen, sigma by 2 epsilon naught. Okay, so now add this two value. What you are getting here? In the numerator, listen, that is equal to 2 sigma by 2 epsilon naught. So 2 will be cancelled. We will get the answer E inside is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. The direction of the electric field between the plate is directed from positive charge plate to negative charge plate. Okay, if you see, listen children, direction of the electric field is between the plate is directed from positive charge to the negative charge plate and is uniform everywhere between the plates. Understand children? Next come to the fourth application, electric field due to a uniformly charged spherical shell. Here listen children, we are going to take on one uniformly charged spherical shell of radius r. Okay, we are going to take on as what? This is the spherical shell having the radius capital R. Carrying the charges, we are going to take on as what? Q. Okay, carrying the charges, we are going to take on as what? Q. Now, we are going to calculate the electric field at the point P outside and inside the sphere. Okay, outside and inside we are going to calculate. So, by using Gauss law. So, we can see the first case at a point outside the cell. Okay, outside the cell means, listen, the radius is what? Greater than R. Okay, so outside the cell, listen, the radius of the sphere is, we are going to take as what? Capital R. Now, I am going to consider one point P outside the cell at a distance small r from the center of the spherical cell. Okay, here listen children, the charge is uniformly distributed on the surface of the sphere. Here the charge is uniformly distributed on the surface of the sphere. We all know that, listen, when Q is greater than 0, okay, when Q is greater than 0, the direction of the electric field is outward. When the Q is less than 0, the direction of the electric field is inward. Now, with respect to the point P, I am going to consider one Gaussian surface, that is the imaginary spherical surface. Okay, now for this imaginary spherical surface, I am going to apply the Gauss law. So what is the formula of Gauss law? Closed integral of Gaussian surface E vector dot dA vector is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Okay, Q by epsilon naught. Okay, children. So listen, children. In the spherical surface, if you have taken, listen, the spherical surface at all the point having what? Equal distance. Okay. So the magnitude of E vector is also same at all the point. Okay, it is also what? Same at all the point due to the spherical symmetry of the charge distribution. Okay, over the sphere, listen, it is equally distributed, so that, listen, the electric field is acting in an outward direction and the magnitude also what? Same. So we can take the next step, listen, E is we are taken as what? Common. When you take E is common, now listen, E closed, don't forget to put the closed integral here, because we are going to apply the Gauss law for the closed surface. Okay, so closed Gaussian surface dA Q by epsilon naught. Listen children, here I am taken here the small area dA. If I want to calculate the total area of this Gaussian surface, it is in the shape of what? Spherical. Okay, so we are applying the total area. Listen, the total area of the Gaussian surface is equal to what? 4 pi r square. Okay, now listen, the closed integral of dA, in the place of closed integral of dA, we can substitute now what? 4 pi r square. We can write now what? 4 pi r square. So in the place of integral, closed integral of dA, we can write now 4 pi r square. So we are getting the formula E into 4 pi r square is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Okay, so listen children, actually I want to calculate the formula of what? E. Okay, so if I want to calculate the value of E, I can bring 4 pi r square to the denominator. So I will get the formula E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. In vector form, I can write here E vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square into r cap. Okay, r square into what? R cap. So listen children, if you see this equation, the electric field at a point outside the cell, the electric field at a point outside the cell will be same as if the entire charge in the outside is concentrate at the center point of the spherical cell. See this formula? The same formula we already studied for what? Due to the point charge. Okay, the electric field due to the point charge. Okay, so we can say that, listen, when all the charges are concentrate at the center, also we having what? The same formula. Okay, understand children? Next, we are come to the case 2. For that, listen, here at a point on the surface of the spherical cell. At a point on the surface of the spherical cell. So listen, at a point on the spherical of the surface cell means, listen, we have taken the point P also. Listen, here this is the spherical sphere that having the radius is what? R. We are going to consider the point P. Okay, we are going to consider, listen children, the point P is also at the same point. So we having, listen, the distance R is equal to here what? Capital R. Okay, so when the distance r is equal to capital R, we already calculate the formula for electric field. Okay, so listen, the R where in the place of R is now replaced by what? Capital R. Okay, so we can write the equation E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon q by r square for what? Magnitude. Okay, instead of this r square, now we can write the capital R square at a point on the surface of the spherical shell. At a point on the surface of the spherical shell. Okay, so we are getting the answer E vector is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into R square into R cap. Okay, understand children? To come to the case C, at a point inside the spherical cell. Now we are going to consider point P inside the spherical cell. So if we consider a point inside the spherical shell at a distance small r. So if you see here, the value of the r is less than capital R. So with respect to the small r, we are going to consider one imaginary surface that is called as what? Gaussian sphere. Okay, that is we are called as what? Gaussian sphere. Now for this imaginary surface, now we are applying the Gauss law. So if you are applying the Gauss law, listen children, that is closed integral. Okay, closed integral of Gaussian surface E vector dot dA vector is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Okay, E vector dot dA vector is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Here listen, in the last case we know that the closed integral of dA vector is equal to what? 4 pi r square. So E into 4 pi r square is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Here one important concept, listen children, the Gauss, that is the Gauss law, based upon that if you are applied, the Gaussian surface encloses no charge. Okay, listen, the Gauss law depends upon the charge present inside the surface. Okay, if you see here, inside the Gaussian surface there is no charge. That is Q is equal to what? 0. So when the value of Q is equal to 0, we are getting that the electric field E is also equal to what? 0. Okay, and also listen children, here what is the condition we have taken? R is less than capital R. So the electric field due to the uniformly charged spherical cell is 0 at all points inside the cell. Mark it for 1 mark question. Electric field due to the uniformly charged spherical shell is 0 at all points inside the cell. Okay, understand children? Okay, so we can say it is a very important 1 mark question. So based upon these 3 cases, we can consider, before that listen, the electric field due to the uniformly charged spherical shell is 0 at all points inside the cell. Okay, now we can see the 3 cases. Based upon the 3 cases, we can draw the diagram. Okay, we are going to plot the graph now. Let us consider spherical shell. Okay, the center point to the radius, we are going, the end point we are taken as for radius capital R. Okay, now with respect to the center, we are going to draw the electric field. Then with respect to the x-axis, we are going to consider distance R. Okay, here you all know that, listen, inside the spherical shell, the electric field is equal to what? 0. Inside the cell, the electric field is equal to what? 0. Okay, so on the surface, listen, it having what? Greater electric field. We know that, listen, when the distance increases, okay, when the distance increases, the electric field value will be decreases. So if you see here, when the distance increases, the electric field value will be decreases. It is a very important 1 mark. So listen children, the electric field inside the shell is equal to 0. On the surface, listen, it is maximum. When the distance increases, the electric field value also what? Decreases. Okay, understand?